Hi everyone and welcome to episode 323 of the Mighty Whites podcast. I'm Jack, as always joined by Casey.
Never.
And there's some fuckhead in the corner, goes by the name of Alex.
Well, this one's not getting monetized.
None of ours are monetized. How's things, mate? You alright?
Yeah, not too bad.
You were decidedly average at predictions last year, but you definitely weren't the worst, so bring you back. Connie was going to be joining us, but per his message, he's just getting back now. So he's sent me some over anyway. And we do have a new challenger by the name of Danny, who we've basically known since, me and Casey have known since we were 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play football with him, and he's sent me a load over as well. So we'll go from there. We may also get some from Benny, but he hasn't sent me out yet, so we'll see. News-wise, before we get into the predictions, I think there's only a couple of things to talk about. Thing 1, Leeds have signed Lucas Perry to be the goalkeeper. He's immediately injured.
Classic Leeds.
Has anyone watched much of him at Lyon? Because I haven't watched much French football. I know that statistically he was all right last season, and before we went there, he was like ridiculous at Botafogo, because that was when he became something of an FM wonder kid based on his form there.
He had a couple of good games against us in the Europa League.
Don't you dare call them us on our podcast. Fuck you. Yeah, Alex, as we did explain last year, Alex is a Scum fan, and that's the reason we have him do this, because we always had a theory that we'd be either too pessimistic or too optimistic in the case of Connie. And an outsider's perspective would probably win, but so far that hasn't been true.
Hey, I won the first time.
Yeah, but no, so he played all right against Scum.
Yeah, the second at home he played well. The first leg in that Europa League tie he played really well. The second leg he had a few howlers, came for a couple of things that he probably shouldn't have done. But overall, like shot stopping wise, pretty decent.
Ah, cool. Because it's one of it. Obviously, I definitely think based on what the bits I've seen, I definitely think is an improvement on what we've got. There was a few people who watch more than me. They weren't mad keen on his ability on crosses, considering his size. But I mean, we'll just have to see. I mean, there's a lot of people rumoured that the reason that he's out injured is hair transplant related. So we'll see what goes on with that. And the only other bit of news is, I mean, they have now released it, but about an hour and a half before the kit was released, before the third kit was released, Adidas decided to release it. So it was just there. What do you think of the third kit?
It's not the black kit I think that we were hoping for and was spoken about. It is very much, as Alex will probably be more aware, it's very much like that training top I have that is neither white nor black. And we've just sort of thrown a few splashes of blue into it. I like it because I like shiny things, but it doesn't really strike you as a proper kit.
When I first saw it, I didn't like it. Obviously, I don't think it's a bad idea, like having the scarves as like a motif. I think that's not a bad idea. But I wasn't keen when I first saw it, and the more I've looked at it, the less I dislike it. So I think it's going to be like the Burgundy kit, where I didn't like it when I first saw it, but it'll take 3 good performances in it, and I think I'll be on board.
It does seem weird that you're kind of like, right, scarves are now our thing. That's it. Our club is now scarves.
In fact, after last year, I still can't believe that after last year, the success of, look, let's make a thing out of yellow. And it worked, and everyone bought the shirt, and everyone bought scarves, and everyone bought bucket hats, and Ellen Road turned yellow, and it was great. It looked great. Oh, well, we'll have another one.
I think it was all a ploy to make Kinnear be wrong again when he said yellow kits don't sell. It was we'll show you, and spend 65 quid a time to do it.
Well, given his mannerism comments, he's more into the colour red than anything else. It's an odd choice for a kit, but
this is when your third goalkeeper shirt now is yellow and it sells more.
They're quite nice, are the goalkeeper kits this year?
I don't even think I've really looked at them.
I think we've got an orange. I think they're orange and light blue. I think the ones we've gone with this year that are out at the moment.
Oh, well. Yeah, I saw some way too strong opinions, like that were legitimately furious at the kit, which I couldn't really get my head around. But I think that's just a residual anger from the lack of movement in forward areas in the transfer market, to be honest.
Yeah, that will, as we've said, with this being the predictions one, the lack of activity up there does very much play into one of my answers.
Yeah. We have messages. Benny, not a chance to do it, but we'll sort them before the season starts. Connie, third shirt is shite, so is the home shirt. Blue and overway, that's a good sign. And my brother's also said evening. You all right, Sam? How you doing? So, yeah, the nice to know Benny will get his things in, so I'll leave his column in the document. There isn't, obviously, we'll talk about the games themselves closer to the time. So if I just move some stuff around on my screen so I can see things. Do you want to start with the league, leave leads themselves till last?
Yeah.
Cool. Just moving things around so I can see everything on screen at the same time. Right. There we go. So for the Premier League, and by the way, we are now no longer doing anything to do with the EFL as predictions because we are now spoiled Premier League fans and that lower league muck doesn't exist for about a year.
Fair.
Yeah, spoiled Premier League fans. Nothing happens below the Premier League now that we're in it. That's exactly how it should work, at least as far as my brain is concerned. Although I did listen to the not the top 20 Championship 1 to 24 positions, and as usual, that was a really good listen. Led to me having a couple of bets. So we'll start with you, KC. Who is your top 4, 1 to 4 in the Premier League?
Good work from me. I didn't actually pick a fourth.
Excellent. Shows how stuck in 2001 Leeds United fans are. Top three for the Champions League, even though it might actually be 5. But top 5 is too many.
It turns out if you finished in the top 17 last season, you could still get in the Champions League. So
yeah.
Let's have a look. So I have gone Liverpool to retain, Man City second. Arsenal will become slightly more boring and finish third. And I've got Aston Villa as fourth.
Villa, nice. That is... Yeah, I don't think anyone who's got them in so far has got Villa. I have Liverpool retaining as well, just given their squad. Losing Trent but replacing him with Frimpong, I think that's pretty decent. So they've lost Nunes and unfortunately Diogo Jota in the way, and they've replaced that with Verts and Ekitike and possibly Isak. That looks pretty strong to me. So I've got Liverpool, I've got Arsenal second, Chelsea in third, and Man City in fourth. I'm sort of thinking Man City must get some, even if they get away with most of it, they must get some sort of deduction.
What you think is actually going to happen this year? It's unlikely.
I mean, it's supposedly October, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I have gone Liverpool to retain.
Yep.
Chelsea second. City third. And Arsenal fourth.
Arsenal fourth. Similar things. I fancy Chelsea to be good this year. I did think about having them second as well.
Yeah, to be fair, I know the Club World Cup's not really anything to go off, but the few glimpses you've seen of Cole Palmer and João Pedro playing together seem quite well at linking up. I think they've got the squad depth right, but I'm not really keen on getting rid of MWP and bringing in Bino Gittins. I don't think Bino Gittins is really going to do much, and I don't think it's that much of an upgrade on him per se. That young Brazilian that they've just brought in as well, that
Estevao.
Yeah, he looks world class. And I know he won't start straight away, but Christmas time you might see him come into the team. I think they're strong, and City are in a bit of a rebuild period at the moment, and I know they've made a lot of good signings. I think defensively they get let down, which is why I've put Chelsea above them.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to go. Connie's and Danny's are pretty similar. They've both got Arsenal third, Chelsea fourth. Danny has Liverpool winning it, Man City second. Connie has Man City winning it, Liverpool second. So it's all much of a muchness. So the out there shout by our standards then is KC having Villa in the top four.
What I've realised is I'm going to do bad regardless, so I might as well steer into it and just throw some things in there every now and again. Just
you think you might as well try and get something cool.
Yeah.
I've just realised that on this Premier League thing, I could add Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year. Probably worth adding.
On the spot.
Yep. So yeah, I'll get Danny and Connie to send me ones for that in a sec. So yeah, the bottom three from 18th to 20th. I'll get that way. Connie has Wolves 18th, Burnley 19th, Brentford 20th. Little Danny has Brentford in 18th, Sunderland 19th, and Burnley in 20th. Alex?
I have Wolves in 18th, Sunderland 19th, and Burnley last.
And Burnley in 20th. I think that Burnley are most people's consensus for bottom. I'll say that I have Burnley 20th, I have Sunderland in 19th, and I have Leeds United in 18th. I just look at that squad, and as much as I think the centre backs are decent and the centre mids are decent, I don't think there's enough goals in that team.
I will circle back to this. I think my prediction of Leeds not going down is because of how much weaker. I think that more to do with other teams being weaker than us than our positive recruitment.
I'm also kind of hoping, I'll be honest, that I'm that's one where obviously I'm putting it in just sort of wanting to be wrong, and for us to sign a really good striker and possibly a number 10 in the next few weeks and feel a lot better.
So I've gone with I'm going with Brentford 18th, Wolves 19th, and Burnley to finish bottom.
Wow. So we haven't heard from Benny yet, but everyone has Burnley 20th. So whack your money on Burnley staying up, everyone.
You're knowing my luck, European qualification.
Yeah. 9th. Burnley. I do think that I didn't rate much of their business at all. But they did sign Leslie Ugachukwu yesterday, and I do think that's a decent signing, to be fair. I think he's a decent player. Breuer, if he stayed fit for a season, might be a good signing. But he hasn't managed to stay fit for a season for about 4 years, has he, at this point?
No, his knee keeps blowing up. Kyle Walker's on a downward projection. They've sold Trafford and replaced him with Martin Dubravka. They're not signings of a team that are wanting to stay up.
Yeah, Dubravka's a weird goalkeeper because he does have worldy games. So, I think there will be a couple of games where Burnley get outplayed and Dubravka gets some points. But I don't think he's consistently a good goalkeeper.
No, nowhere near. And
who's going to be playing centre back alongside Estevez? Because they lost Egan Riley, didn't they? Yeah,
is he Marseille now?
Yes.
It was definitely France.
Yeah, it's Marseille.
I can't remember if they've signed anybody. But to be fair,
Axel Tuanzebe.
Ah, yeah.
Just looking at there.
Yeah, like they had a few that they've
What's
brought
listed
in.
here?
Like Bashir Humphreys has come in, but he was on loan there last season anyway, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think
And
that's a loan to permanent.
Marcus Edwards was the same, loan to permanent, although he is a good player. Jaden Anthony was the same. I didn't realise, but Zion Fleming was as well, who I wouldn't. I just don't think he's a Premier League player. I mean, you know, if he proves me wrong, he proves me wrong. There's nothing in that that's really standing out.
I think one of the key things as well is they've let Josh Brownhill go.
Yeah, that was an odd one, and it sounds like he might be off to Leicester.
It was either Leicester or Ipswich, one of the two. One of the two teams that went down, he's linked with going. But for a player who was so influential for him, what were it like? 20 goals and assists last season.
He did get loads of goals, but now don't get me wrong, mate. You still have to score them, but a lot of them were penalties. So that it isn't quite as high. But without, I think he's a good player. Yeah, he's a good player. Like, but my guess is Burnley were maybe willing to offer him 3 years on low Premier League money, and others are willing to offer him 4 at the same wages in the Championship, where you're probably going to get promoted, and then your wage is going to jump 40% or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. If it is Leicester that he goes to, I think he's taken a backward step.
Yeah. You both have Wolves, as does Connie. What's making you have Wolves that low?
For me, looking at the obviously 2 massive losses in Cunha and Aït-Nouri.
Is Semedo gone as well now? Because he was out of contract.
I haven't even looked at that.
Because Nelson Semedo's been there right back for like 5 years, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he will linked with going back to La Liga.
But I mean, for me, those
Fenerbahce apparently. He is gone.
Fenerbahce, taps nose. Yeah, like they are 2 massive losses. Like Aït-Nouri has been certainly their most consistent player. I think in the last couple of years, technically speaking, I think Cunha could pull out magic at times last season, but Aït-Nouri these last few years has just been immense for them as that left wing back. And I just think they're going to struggle to replace those 2. And it is a squad that has just continued to lose talented players, and the recruitment, as much as I love a Joachim Strand-Larsen type.
Yeah. And he's objective. I mean, given what he did last season, he's a good player.
He came away with 14 goals, and I know there were times when he was playing a bit of a deeper role as well. But I think creatively, they're not looking as good as they were. And if he's not getting the ball, then I just see them potentially losing, dropping off by about 10, 15 goals.
Yeah, and they were awful before Vitor Pereira came in, weren't they?
And they finished the season quite poorly as well.
Yeah.
To be fair, he had a little spell where he got him playing something like it, and I don't know, a pre-season with him, maybe you can get something out of him. But I mean, Hugo Bueno that's the guy who'll be taking over from Aït-Nouri at left back.
Yeah, because he's back from his loan, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's okay, but that back line, like, I think their most consistent centre half's that Totti, and I don't think he's that cracking. Jose Sar's on a downward spiral. He's towards the tail end of his career now, and to be fair, if he has a few bad games, it's probably Sam Johnson that ends up being their main number 1 for this season.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not changing it, but I can. Yeah. I think I've been so focused on whether Brentford are going to fall to bits or not that I haven't really noticed that Wolves are missing quite a bit. because I have just gone with the teams go up, go down, just because of how big the gap is getting between the Championship and the Premier League. But I really don't want that to be the case, and I do think, like on paper, Brentford are the ones that look the most ready to fall to bits. You know, losing Thomas Frank and getting Keith Andrews as manager. They've lost a fair few players. They still look like, when Wissa is kicking up this much of a stink, I always expect him to end up going. So, like, if he doesn't go, they've got that. Is it Thiago, that other striker that they've got, who I don't know anything about?
Yeah, Thiago Igor. He's a good striker. He was unfortunate that when they signed him, because he's Brentford's biggest signing ever. Like, he's unfortunate that when he joined, he got injured straight away. But to be fair, even creatively, I know Mbeumo will be a massive miss for him, and if Visa goes as well. But like, Mikkel Damsgaard is still a decent player. He pulled a bit out.
He was really good last season.
I don't think you can rely on Kevin Schade, but he's not a bad striker. He's got a great work rate on him. I think it really comes down to who do they replace Christian Norgard with in that midfield.
Yeah, and we'll see how they do. To the other end of the table, you would expect top scorer. Both myself and Connie have Haaland. Little Danny has Salah.
Haaland.
Salah.
That was quick. That doesn't really require any in-depth discussion.
No.
So we'll skip straight to most assists. Connie has Saka. Danny has Ødegaard.
Go on, Alex.
Oh, you appear to have gone muted, Alex.
Have I?
Nothing. Your mouth was moving. No sound on my end.
Nice. I've gone the same as Connie. I've got Saka.
Cool. I have gone for Cole Palmer. Casey?
You know, I told you I was going to go for one of those out there ones every now and again. Bruno Fernandes.
Ugh. I mean, it wouldn't shock me because they're likely to play him deeper given Mbeumo and Cunha. If they also get Sesko as well, that'll be the front three. So Fernandes will have to play deep.
Squad building.
Hopefully, it all falls apart. Old Trafford. There is a consensus for first Premier League boss to go between Connie and Danny of Keith Andrews.
Yeah.
Are you on that train as well?
Oh, I'm on that train. I don't think he gets sacked. I think they signed someone else and he just goes back to his original job.
What, goes back to being a set-piece coach?
Yeah. You gave it your best shot. Get out the way. Angie's here.
Brentford's owner just puts down her hands. Let's get you back to this porter cabin where you plan free kick routines. Come on, come on, let's get back in there. I have gone differently. I've gone with Vitor Pereira.
Well, makes sense given everything you just said. And Wolves they don't mind an early season sacking, do they?
No.
I've gone for someone who I think got sacked after 2 games last time he was in the Premier League, which is Scotty Parker. I know they got 100 points last season, but I still don't think Scott Parker's a good manager. and I at this point it is just straight up bias. I just don't like him.
But to be fair, look at the teams he's come up with. Like, I could have managed that Bournemouth team or that Burnley team, and they'd have still gone up.
The worst one is the Fulham team that he got up in the playoffs that should have won it by about. Like, did Mitrovic get 40-something goals that season in the league, and they got up in the playoffs?
Yeah, Joe Bryan's 2 free kicks.
But like last season, he objectively did do a very good job. But I just don't think that he's a Premier League manager, so I think he's going to go. And as everyone and their dog appears to have him 20th, like, they'll probably need to gamble at some point. New category for the season, the Golden Glove. Me and Danny both have David Raya.
Same.
I too have David Raya. More, I'd say the Mikel Arteta period of, you know what? We did play some attacking football. But I've discovered this guy, George Graham, right? I'm going to focus on set pieces and defending. Yes, I've gone David Raya as well.
Yeah. Fortunately, so we don't just have the clean sheet that knackers everything. We have Connie with Alisson, who is probably like the second most likely. The problem is that I think Alisson's probably gone after this season. So I think they'll play Mamadashvili in some games.
Alisson, I don't think he's had a season where, for a few now, where he's not ended up missing a few games with an injury as well. So he might lose his place halfway through.
Yeah, I don't think they'll drop him, but I think that the injuries will probably happen. And if it is right that Mamadashvili is going, it's the same reason why I couldn't go for Ederson, because I think Ederson will do one more year, and I think Trafford will play 10 Premier League games now they've signed him.
I don't like that signing. I know Trafford had a worldly of a season in the Championship last year. I don't think he's good enough.
I mean, I think he's a really good goalkeeper, but the last time he played in the Premier League, he was crap.
Yeah, he got dropped for Muric last time, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Muric is not a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, me and Alex were discussing this the other day when we were looking at Ipswich's squad at the moment. So I just looked at him and just went, but he was so poor. Yeah, it's an interesting time kind of looking at those top end clubs, because Arsenal have been still sniffing around goalkeepers, haven't they, as well? Like,
well, they've got Kepa now.
Why?
I mean, if it wasn't,
I don't understand it. Like, why?
It's an odd career, is Kepa. I mean, like $5 million to be a second choice keeper, I think that's a very good signing. The problem is he'll be on ridiculous money. If you want on ridiculous money, I don't want us to get them. He's not a brilliant keeper, but he's better than a £5 million keeper.
Well, I mean, is this not to balance out him being what I assume is he now the British record transfer for a goalkeeper, or is he still?
I think he's still world.
Is he still world?
I think so, because he broke Alisson's record.
Yeah, because they were like a couple of weeks apart, weren't they? There weren't much in it.
Yeah.
No, one of them went well.
Hey, the other one's still there. One has a Champions League winners. Oh, well, no, they both do.
Yeah.
One has a terrible record in cup finals, and a lot of it's to blame on himself.
Yeah. So, do you want to do handicap first or players of the year?
Do the handicap. Explain the handicap, Jack.
Okay, right. The season handicap, which anyone who's had a bet will be aware of this already. But basically, it is everyone. Liverpool as the favourites is just their points line. I believe that Arsenal were +3 for the second one, for second place, and so on and so forth. Man City and Arsenal +3, Chelsea +12, etc. Going through to at the bottom, Sunderland +52. I have taken these lines from basically all the bookies had the same line, so I've just used theirs. But it sort of works for season handicap winner and season handicap bottom. It's sort of biggest overachiever and biggest underachiever. So I've added this in because I always think this is like the hardest thing to nail over a season. It's always difficult. And I'm still, even though I've got an answer written down, I'm still 50-50 between two. I will say that little Danny, he has gone for the handicap winner to be Man United +21 points. And his bottom is Brentford, who are +38. And Connie also has Brentford, but he has Man City for the handicap winner, which, as he thinks they're going to win the league, makes sense. I have got Chelsea winning it. I think Chelsea could be as high as second and they're plus 12 on the handicap, and I could see that being plenty. And for my losers, I've gone with, I can't believe I'm putting this given how much I talk about all the time, but I've got Brighton.
Oh.
They've lost a fair few players, including a lot of them. I know, like they've got Enciso and Buonanotte back off loan, but they haven't improved much from a year ago when they sent them out on loan. Ferguson's gone, João Pedro's gone. They've signed that young Greek striker from Olympiacos. And yeah, he might be a world beater in a couple of years, but 30 million for an 18-year-old straight out of the Greek league, I don't think you can rely on that. Danny Welbeck, you can't rely on staying fit. I just don't think we're going to score enough goals, so I've got Brighton.
Yeah.
In my wild guesses here, I'm going to go Spurs. Essentially, it's your overachievers. They were plus 22.
Yep, who I thought they were my other side. They were my other side of a 50-50 with Brighton for the lowest. Because
Alrighty then.
Spurs have got some good players, but they're still really young and they're still 2 defensive injuries from serious trouble.
Nah, it's fine. I've total confidence that Mickey van der Ven will play all 38 games. And my underachievers I'm going to go for is Crystal Palace, who this is based on the fact I believe they've spent £3 million in this transfer window and really not signed anyone.
Yeah, Palace are plus 33.
And as I said to you before, it's not a particularly big squad. And even if they are playing fairly lowly opposition, when you look at their squad, there's not many teams who cope well with the Thursday-Sunday routine, and I think that could affect them a lot.
Yeah, you see, I think Palace. I want Palace to win the appeal and be in the Europa League instead of Forest, but I don't think they will. I think it'll help Palace in the league that they're in the Conference League, not the Europa League, because they can rest a lot of players in the Conference League and be absolutely fine. Whereas in the Europa League, they'd have to take it a bit more seriously.
Yeah, I just again just try and get their squad up here now.
They're probably going to lose Eze as well. It still sounds like Arsenal are going to buy him. Yeah,
I mean the other thing is, I think we obviously kind of learnt this the second season we were last in the Premier League, that if you stand still, you move back, and you are looking at, you take Eze out of there. You've got I think you've got like a very functional midfield. I think it's hard working. I think but there's not a lot of creativity in that team, and you now go into, and then you're looking at Nketiah didn't have a particularly good season last year. Will Mateta do it again? If I don't think you will at this point. Again, if Mark Guehi goes,
I think Gay might go because I think Liverpool might buy him.
I like this Liverpool approach, by the way. When Man City just buy players so other teams can't have them, why don't we do that?
Well, I mean, Van Dijk is getting on a bit. But obviously, we've got him on a new contract, but Konate's only got 1 year left. So they probably do. And Joe Gomez is injured again. Like, in pre-season, Ryan Gravenberch has been played centre-half. They do need a centre-back.
Yeah, and the rumour is that Konate's already in talks with Real Madrid to leave on a free at the end of next year.
Yeah, obviously, legally speaking, he is not in talks with them because that would be, against the way contract law works and stuff. Just like Trent Alexander-Arnold never talked to him until January, I'm sure. So, yeah, we'll say. Alex, your handicap winner and loser?
So, my handicap winner, I had to pick us for something, Man United.
To be honest, it is one of them with the number of points that Man United have got. If you think that they're going to be decent, even if you think it's only decent, they're not a bad bet for this. It's why
Yeah.
Danny's gone from as well. It does make sense.
And my handicap loser, I've gone Nottingham Forest.
Forest, I'm not even sure.
33?
Forest is 32?
32, 33, one of those.
Yeah, 32, I've got it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are either playing Conference League or Europa League next season.
And it currently looks like Europa League.
Yeah, they've lost Alanya, who was a big vocal point for them again. They're trying to rely on Chris Wood being that main striker for them, which, yeah, he had a good season last season, scored a few goals. I just can't see him keeping going. The backup is Awonyi, and he's not being able to stay fit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I look at the Forest team and I think the same as what KC said about Crystal Palace. Weirdly, after signing about 40 players in 2 seasons, they now seem to don't have the squad depth.
Yeah, a lot will depend. They've signed that Igor Jesus from Botafogo. He might be good as a striker. I don't know. They signed a centre-back from him as well, whose name I don't remember. They have just signed Dan Ndoye from Bologna, who I haven't watched much. By all accounts, is a great player.
He's good, but it's the risk. It's the risk you always take of bringing someone into the Premier League. You can look class in Serie A, come into the Premier League, and the game just passes you by.
Yeah, I should say, just because all the others are the same as before, Golden Glove is a 10.1. Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year are 10.1s. Because I think it's the hardest one, handicap winner and bottom is 15. Because I think that's more difficult. So, I'd say, obviously, we don't have ones for Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year because I've just added them from Connie and Danny. But I've got for Player of the Year, Cole Palmer. I think Chelsea are going to be good, and therefore he will be good.
Fair. I'm going to go Salah.
Very reasonable shout.
If he's going to be top scorer.
Yeah. I mean, what did he get last year? Like, he basically... Did he get... I mean, he got more than 20 of each, didn't he, in the end? He was like...
Yeah, like, I think it's upper 20, maybe around 26, 27 goals.
Yeah, and, like, best part 20 assists as well.
Yeah.
Like, he had a ridiculous season.
I'll stick with Liverpool. I'm going to go Florian Wirtz.
That's not how you spell that, Jack. Yeah, don't get me wrong, he should be really good, but I'm always wary of someone on the first season in the Premier League.
Walk it, mate.
Yeah.
He's got his ACL injury as well previously.
Opening day of season, bang. And for young player, I've gone Lewis Skelly. He's the first one that I think will be playing week in, week out in a really good side. Who's still young enough to qualify.
Is it 21 or 23 they've got to be?
That's the thing, I don't even remember.
It's one of those things, I think they just make it work. Oh no, can't pick him. Right.
Liam Delap and Morgan Rogers were nominated last year, and they were both 22 at the time, so it must be 23.
Okay. Is Saka older than 23 now?
He must be. He must be about 26 now, surely. He's 23, but he's 24 next month.
Right, okay, fair.
Listen, if I've learned anything from the Leeds United Young Player of the Year, 24 is fine. That year, Calvin Phillips won it. Let's have a look. Who? I'm going to pick out it. You know what? I'm going to go with, looking here, he's 22 at the moment, turns 23 in November. Destiny Udogie.
I mean, I quite like Udogie. I think he's a good player, but...
I'm all in on the Spurs train, baby.
Fair enough. In fact, let me just put in brackets next to Spurs. Jack nearly went last. Just so I remember that when I'm going through whether it's to mock you or mock me at the end of the season.
It'll be me.
I'm going to go Ryan Shekry.
Oh, Ryan Cherky.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much they're going to start him at first, but we'll see. In terms of technical ability, he's unreal. So yeah, that's everything that's Premier League specific that isn't Leeds. So we have our cup predictions. These ones are a lot easier. FA Cup winners, Casey.
I went with Man City because I think it'll be the only thing they win this year.
I also went for Man City.
I have gone Chelsea.
Chelsea. Danny has Arsenal. Connie has Newcastle. I think they're all, these are cup competitions. We'll see what happens. League Cup, I've got Chelsea.
I have City.
I have Brighton.
Huh.
Because somebody has to win it.
Well, if it's out like me last season, that means Brighton are winning the FA Cup. Connie, Man City. Danny, Man City.
By the way, at some point, this Arsenal team should try winning something.
They should win something, shouldn't they? At some point.
Otherwise, all this boring football's for nothing.
Yeah. The Champions League. Little Danny has PSG. Connie has Real Madrid. I have Barcelona.
I too have Barcelona.
I have Real Madrid.
Yeah. I think I've basically gone for Barcelona because I think they should have won it last year. Or at least they should have been the team that played PSG in the final.
Yeah.
It'd have been a much better final. For the Europa League, I have sort of refused on principle to go for an English team for the Europa League. So I have gone for Roma. Because I think Evan Ferguson is going to be fucking unreal. Because I think he's a great player who's just had a bit of a bad run. And I think he's going to go mental at Roma.
To be fair, me and KC were going through the Roma team yesterday because they had a friendly against Villa. He really doesn't have many massive names in it anymore.
And they lost like 4-0, I think, in the end.
My entire thing for this is Evan Ferguson. That's it. It's what you need in a cup competition.
See, Jack. Whereas you, with your standards and your morals and your beliefs, I have gone for Aston Villa to win this.
Ah, fair. I mean, English teams are most likely to win it. For example, Connie's got Villa as well.
I have gone Lille.
That's interesting because so is little Danny. Yeah. 2 Lille's. I wasn't expecting that.
The only thing that could hold them back is they've just sold their keeper to PSG, and Jonathan David's gone on a free.
Yeah, Chevalier.
Yeah,
he's so someone's getting Donnarumma then.
Yeah, we'll have him.
I mean, if you spunk another 60 million on a goalkeeper, I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd be a massive upgrade, but it would just show the lack of planning involved. We have another tie here because Connie and Danny have got Fiorentina for the Conference League.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So do I.
Fiorentina. Casey?
Another one where I've just thrown one out there. Anderlecht.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
because they're a team that are pretty much there in that competition. And as we know from years gone by, the list of qualifiers, even at this stage in the summer, is slim.
Well, there's no one qualified at this point.
Yeah. Brilliant competition.
I do have 2 written down, but it's for a reason. Palace or Forest, depending on how Palace's appeal goes. Whichever one of them is in the Conference League will win the Conference League.
Fair.
Yeah. Do you want to do your likely unlikelies or the list of leads? We should probably finish with finishing position, shouldn't we? So likely unlikely.
Yeah, I'll
these, by the way, were only sent to me by KC about 3 minutes before we started. So I will have to get everyone to send me in answers who isn't here in person. So the opening question is, Leeds to have 5 or more different starting centre-back partnerships in the league. I have a question for you here, KC.
How does this figure with a back 3? Is that your question?
Is this in a 2?
I'm talking in a 2.
Starting CB partnerships in a league. Back 4. Cool. Well, we'll have Woden's turn. Woden be all.
I'm going to go likely.
Essentially, all you really need for this to get close is one of your right centre-backs to get injured, one of your left centre-backs to get injured.
Yeah, I think it's likely as well. Because I think you're going to see, not loads of it, but I think you're going to see some Ampadu there.
Yeah, I am going likely as well.
Cool. Leads to have 3 goalkeepers start a league game. I'm saying unlikely.
I would say unlikely. But now that you've said Perry's injured, Meslier starts the season, instantly dropped Perry back from injury.
Meslier leaves, Caldalo plays.
Well, I think Caldalo plays ahead of Meslier anyway, to be fair.
Nah, that's a fresh start, isn't it?
I'm going unlikely.
I am unlikely as well, but I was hoping I was going to tempt someone out with that one.
No, I mean, the other thing that could do it is it only takes one injury. Like, if we have Perry and Darlow play, because Perry's injured for something, so Darlow plays. In the event that we manage to be safe towards the end of the season, which is unlikely, but if we manage it, then you absolutely could see him giving. I mean, I think Meslier will be gone. Yeah. Just because I've had to have it in such a very small window. There's been a few comments in. Connie, who said he was looking at Forest for his loser because he thinks they'll drop off. Connie has Salah for Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, Lewis Skelly. And just because you mentioned Meslier, little Danny has message to say Meslier gets no fresh starts. Leads to name a starting lineup with no English players. What would that take?
Now, I will say this is essentially.
I don't think that takes much.
No, it doesn't. It's very much dependent on the fitness of both our fullbacks, Jane Bogle and Sam Byram. After that, I'm sorry, and Sean Longstaff. If you're basically going sort of players you think would start regularly. So Bogle and Longstaff are kind of the 2 regulars, and Sam Byram is the backup for Bogle.
I'm saying likely for this. Probably only once, but I think it'll happen.
I'm going to go unlikely.
So you're thinking Bogle stays fit all season?
Well, it will tie into another one later on the line, and I'll explain at that point. But I don't think Bogle stays fit, and I don't think Byram stays fit. But I think there's someone else.
I think Sam Byram stays fit because I just don't think he plays. But I'm going likely as well.
Yeah, a lot will depend on who are the transfers that come in the last couple of weeks for that as well. KC with one that I can't believe I'm about to read. I'm just going to. I've already typed in unlikely for me. Jack Harrison to get 8 or more goal contributions. And does this include if he goes to someone else in the Premier League? Because I'm still going unlikely, even if so.
No, this is for us. So as Alex again can attest to yesterday, I was recently rewatching the first season back in the Premier League goals, and then which led to me watching the extended highlights of us beating Newcastle 5-2.
Casey, you sad bastard. I mean, I watched that yesterday as well. But
and now I'm back to thinking that Jack Harrison is probably the winger we actually need for this squad. So yeah, Jack Harrison, 8 or more goal contributions.
So you're saying likely?
I am saying likely.
And Alex?
Unlikely.
Yeah, I think that I to be honest, if he actually, even though we really like last season, what did he get out of the no goals, 1 assist last season? I actually think if he played 36 games, he might get that, but I can't see him playing that many games. So, Ampadu, Tanaka, Longstaff, and Stack to at least score 1 league goal.
This very much on our lack of goals from central midfielders in the last couple of years. I would have put Gruev in, but I think Gruev is probably going to be a bit more limited in game time. So I kind of went.
If you go off pre-season, his first name on the team sheet.
So I went with the kind of the 4 that I thought would start most regularly in central midfield. So yeah,
I'm going unlikely.
Same.
I'm going unlikely because I don't think Ethan Ampadu could hit a cow's ass with a
I
hand,
was
so.
the reason for my unlikely is Ampadu. I think the other 3 will.
Peterborough side in the cup. Yeah, my faith in Ethan Ampadu. The only saving grace is he has stopped shooting from 25 yards.
Yeah,
because it seemed entirely wasteful.
Yeah, he's not great at it. And finally, for the likely or unlikely, Leeds to be knocked out of both cups by EFL teams. I'm saying unlikely purely based on if we get through like 1 round. I think that we'll draw a Premier League team within the first 2 rounds we play in each competition, and I'm backing us to get through 1 in each.
I'm going likely. Oh, he's gone mute again.
It's happened again. No sound.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
I'm trying to figure out what point you actually join in the League Cup.
Second round.
Second round. And 3rd round of the FA Cup.
So there's only, at this rate, there is only, 12 Premier League teams joining the League Cup in the second round?
You know what? No, I'm going to go likely.
Because admittedly, the one part of it that I do agree on is we're going to play nobody. Especially in the early rounds. So if we do draw EFL teams for like a couple of rounds in a row, it becomes eminently possible.
I mean, as well, given Farke's, Farke's usual thing of rotating the squad heavily for cup games, I think you'd likely see quite a lot of changes, and I think especially that League Cup game early doors, I think it could end up being a woeful performance.
Yeah. So I've just had a message off Little Danny as well, so I should, in theory, get his Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year soon. So just the Leeds specific predictions. As always, this has the rule of anything, if you're off by 10, minus 10, as it does with any positions we've gone for, anything like that all the way through. We have the first thing that we always ask every season, and for a couple of seasons, it's been nice and easy. It's less easy this year. Will Daniel Farke last the season?
Yes.
Yes.
Little Danny, yes. Connie, yes. Brackets, heart over head. Me, no.
Right, because strictly speaking, I'm entirely with you here, Jack. I have said the entire time, I think Farke takes us up, and then I think he's sacked by Christmas and is replaced. But he did get us promoted, and I quite like the guy.
I like the guy. I just don't. Again, I don't think we're going to do well enough for him to keep his job.
You just hate Joy.
No, yeah. Look, I watched back that same video you did of watching Bielsa's Leeds, and that was plenty of joy. So yeah, mostly yeses. I'm the dissenting voice on that. Will Leeds make a first team signing in January? Last year was, of course, no, when we all said yes. I am saying yes this time because I think we're going to be in a relegation battle, so they'd fucking better.
Yeah, so that's pretty much my thinking. I've gone yes as well, because if we don't, I think it'll be suicidal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone yes as well.
Yeah, everyone has yes. I think that's just become a standard question, so I had to leave it in, but I knew there was going to be no dissent in that. Wow, we have this one is a new one that I've added in. 10 points dead on, 5 within 1, 2 for within 2. How many league clean sheets will Leeds United keep this season? I'll start by saying Little Danny has gone for 4.
Ooh. He's done it again.
I have gone 6.
Right. 6. That wouldn't be bad going, I don't think.
I too have gone 6.
I have got 3.
Oof.
I think that mine is probably a touch low, to be fair. However, I think Connie's shout of 10 is very high.
I mean, what was David Raya had 13?
Clean sheet, I will say one thing. If we keep 10 clean sheets, we'll stay up. That is one thing.
I think when I looked, David Raya had 13 last season. So it's bold.
Yeah, if we keep 10 clean sheets, we're staying in the Premier League comfortably. We have a few of these, so we'll go through them nice and quick. Got Premier League goals, Joe Peru. Oh, by the way, are we keeping this as league or all comps?
I'll go with league.
League.
Yeah, I'm going to say I've done it for league.
Cool. Joe Peru, I have 6.
I have 7.
Connie has 12. Alex, 8. Little Danny, 10. Felix Nuecha, I have 3.
5.
I also have 5.
Connie has 8. Danny has 4. Also, remember that if Connie gets all of these numbers right and we keep 10 clean sheets, I think we're getting the Champions League. Dan James, I have 4. Can I say?
6.
I have 11.
Oh, you're going big on that. I mean, he was excellent last season. Connie has 6. Danny has 7. Willie Nonto, I have 7.
I have 6.
6 for Alex.
I've got 4.
4. Danny has 5. Connie has 8. Laji Ramazani. Little Danny has 2. Connie has 4.
I have 2.
2 for Alex.
I have 4.
4. This is the one where I'm highest. I've got 6. He's the one. If someone was going to come out of nowhere and have a really massive season, what people are expecting, he'd be my one. Because the way he strikes the ball and stuff, I just think if someone was going to suddenly score a load of goals out of nowhere, it'd be him. Anton Stack. I have 3.
I have 2.
I have 1.
And Connie has 4. Little Danny has 1. He also has 1 for Autanaka, as do I.
I've gone 3 for Tanaka.
Yeah, Connie has 3 as well.
I've also gone 3.
Cool, that one's pretty easy. Sean Longstaff, I have 2.
I have 2.
I have 0.
Don't think it's the worst shout. Connie has 2. Little Danny has 1. And the last one that we've bothered to do is Jaden Bogle. Little Danny has 3. And Connie has 4.
I've gone 1.
I've gone 2.
Same as me. I've also got 2. It's a bit weirder when you're down the bottom because there's less room to maneuver. But the problem is, like I'm looking at those numbers and they all look so low. But if they did all happen, you'd be getting close to enough goals to have a shot at staying up. But I just don't think. I'd say that's where my worry is. I'm hoping unnamed number 9 gets 12 because I think that's what we'll need. And another thing that happens with being down the bottom end of the league, you get things like this. One of my favourite questions every year: first new international cap. Little Danny has no one.
I mean, I looked through. I think there's really only one player it can be. I'll tell you who it is. This is the part where I regret this, but I'm pretty sure when I looked earlier, I don't think Laji Ramazani has a full cap.
I am fairly sure that's correct.
So, bearing in mind, for me, it was like him or Sam Chambers for Scotland. Because I think most others have played a handful of games for their country, apart from Sean Longstaff, and I don't think that's going to happen playing for us this season.
No, so KC has Ramazani. I will say I did have a scout through Sean Longstaff's wiki just in case he was like eligible for Scotland or something, but he isn't by the looks of it. Connie said, "Fuck it, friendly, Jayden Bogle." Alex, who have you got?
No, I'm not sure if he's actually already played for him or not, but I don't think he has. I've gone Joel Peru.
Peru, I will. No, he has. There was some talk of him getting called up, but he hasn't been called up yet.
I think if the Dutch are still picking Joshua Zirkzee at the moment and Wout Weghorst,
if Peru scores a few goals in the Premier League, it could get him called up, definitely. And I think he might also be one of them. I think he's eligible for. I don't think he'd give it up this early, but I think he's eligible for others. Like, has he got some Suriname in him?
I think we've all got a little Suriname in us.
Yeah, and I have. I think there's a very good chance of him getting in a squad. Whether he gets a cap is difficult. I've gone for Lucas Perry because he doesn't have a cap for Brazil yet. He has a cap for Brazil under 23s, and he's been in a Brazil squad, but he doesn't have a cap.
fair enough.
Connie just Connie giving his opinion on Jack Harrison here. Fuck Jack Harrison and his mum and all they stand for. Yeah, and also describing himself as an eternal optimist, which I think is fair. Yeah, I actually think that. Whoa. My cat very much just jumped on me then and took my earphones with him. Yeah, I think if I was making a book, Little Danny would be favourite with no one, I think, for that.
Yeah.
Another one that's way more difficult this year, but he's always one of my favourite questions. First under-21 league debut. I will say now that Connie first sent me James DeBayo, who, 1, played last year, and 2, doesn't play for Leeds United anymore. He then sent me, shit, did Sam Chambers play in the Cup or the League? Both. So he eventually has gone for the same as Little Danny in Reece Chadwick.
I've also gone for Reece Chadwick because he seems to be the only other child there that hasn't played for us.
I just plucked a random name. Conor Ferguson.
Fair enough. I mean, he's fairly regular in the 21s at this point.
I know who Jack wishes it was.
Who do I wish it was?
You wish it was Rory Mahadi.
I mean, I would love to see Rory Mahadi play, but I can't see it being a goalkeeper. I have gone for someone who I've never seen kick a ball. I've gone for him because he's a left back, and Leeds always need a left back. So I've gone for Jayden Leno, who we've just signed off Man City. just because I think he's going to be the under-21s left back. If Goodmanson gets injured, there's always a chance Sam Byram is also injured. I don't think it takes much for him to get on the bench, and then maybe he gets 10 minutes.
I was going to say, I'm sure I ask this question every year. Is this just debut regardless of competition?
It is down. It's league debut is the category.
Cool.
But there is a decent chance of it being none this year, but you'd hope to see someone. We'll probably. It would be a much easier question to answer in September when you've watched the under-21s play a few games, and there might be someone standing out. But obviously, all the obvious ones, like Harry Gray, would be the most obvious, but he has had 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Leeds United Player of the Year.
Give us the absentee votes.
Connie has gone for Anton Stack. Little Danny has gone for Joe Roden.
Fair. I mean, when you're down at the bottom, it is either you have one attacking player who has a very good season and gets it, or someone in a more defensive position who just does everything, which is why I picked Tanaka.
Fair enough.
Same logic. I've also picked Tanaka.
Fair enough. Hopefully this injury he's got in pre-season isn't too bad because I've got Jayden Bogle. I think he was unlucky not to win it last year.
Yes, I mean, especially the second half of the season, he was phenomenal.
Yeah. Young Player of the Year. I think that there may be some crossover here, so I'm not going to say Connie or Danny's yet.
Is it Wilfred Nonto?
I've got Willie Nonto, I can tell you that.
I've got Willie Nonto.
Fair. I don't think there will be. I have gone Sam Chambers.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I can't see him playing enough.
If he's winning it, I'd be concerned about the position we're in.
Yeah.
I think Bogle's injury, Byram's not fit enough. He ends up being makeshift right back and does a really good
that
job.
lad is not a right back.
Yeah, but
I know he played there against you, but he is not a right back.
No, I think he ends up being your makeshift.
I really hope not. I think like someone like Sebastian Ball now gets stuck out there or something like that before that happens. Me, Casey, and Little Danny have got Nonto. You've got Chambers, and Connie has Little Harry Gray, who isn't little, but he's 16, so he's little.
Yeah.
Top scorer, Danny and Connie have Joel Peru, although Connie very specifically had Peru brackets as it stands.
I'm gonna nail my colours to the mast here, and I'm fully on board with whichever striker we sign.
You can have unnamed striker.
I have unnamed striker.
That's been a thing. We haven't had to do it for a few years, but that was a thing a while ago.
Mine is Dan James.
Well, I'm not surprised at that given the totals. Mine is also based on the totals, even though I've only got him for 7. I've got Nonto. Which is a bit of a low number, but
I mean, given you predicted us to go down, yeah.
Well, I've sort of predicted us to go down in one.
Oh, you've hedged. You've done your hedge your bet thing, haven't you? For God's sake.
Yeah, you know what? Sorry, I've just realised I'm changing. I am not having Jayden Bogle for Player of the Year. I'm having Willie Nonto because I've got Nonto for top scorer and top assist, so I've got to have him for Player of the Year as well. Nonto most assists.
I've got Dan James for most assists.
Same.
I mean, Tanaka's having a hell of a fucking season for you, then, Alex. If he's winning Player of the Year. Little Danny has Bogle, most assists, which if he's fit, decent chance. And Connie has Stack.
Sure.
Yeah. And Danny and Connie for our main question, 20 points if you get it right, 15 within 1, 10 within 2, 5 for within 3. Connie and Danny both have us finishing in 15th place.
I'll tell you what, they're optimistic. I've got a 16th.
I have hedged my bets. I have 17th for this.
God's sake.
I'm the same as Casey. I've got you in 16th.
God, I really hope. I mean, the thing is, obviously, it's just the way it always ends up being. We're not going to want, because we don't want us to go down, we're always going to look on the positive side. But if us being like mega positive is a load of 16th and stuff, it shows that like I am genuinely, right now, I just look at the squad and I don't think it's quite there, but there is time. I'll just for completion's sake, little Danny has Haaland for Player of the Year and Liam Delap for Young Player.
I don't think he's going to play that much now.
I was going to say, now João Pedro's there. He's only coming off the bench.
Hell of a sub there.
Yeah. So, how confident are you that we stay up?
I don't think we'll be that far. Like, I don't think the gap between the 3 relegated teams and the next few teams above them will be as big as it was last season. I mean, West Ham were dreadful, and even they were still, weren't they like 12 points clear of relegation? And by the end, like I don't really count Spurs in this because I know they sort of tanked the end of the season deliberately to rest players. I don't think it will end up being like that. I think we'll be. I'm going to say we'll be safe with about 4 or 5 games left.
Yeah.
Done it again, Alex.
I think there's 4 teams that are worse than you. Obviously, the 3 and Brentford. And the only reason I haven't put Brentford in the relegated sides is because I think Kelleher will keep them up. But that's the only reason. I think I can't see them 4 being better than you this season.
You see, I do think we'll be the best of. Sunderland interesting. I mean, I did say last season when we were on about who goes up through the playoffs and stuff, I did say Sunderland will be the most interesting team if they go up. And they haven't really done exactly what I thought they were going to do. Because I thought they were just going to buy a load, they were going to treat it like Football Manager and buy a load more highly rated kids. And they haven't really done that, but they have been interesting. So they are a team that could be decent next season. I'm pretty confident that we're better than Burnley. I've let you sort of talk me into Wolves a little bit. And Brentford, yeah, everyone knows that could go wrong. I think you're relying on an established Premier League team fucking it up, and Wolves and Brentford are the 2 with the best chance of doing it. But I think Brentford they must have some money just based on everything that's gone in and out. And they tend to be good at buying players. So I think they will buy 3 to 4 good players between now and the end of the window, and that'll be enough to make them okay. And that's why I'm worried about us.
I just find if you're if you're looking at, I think Wolves or Brentford, especially at this point, it just feels like looking at teams with a lack of ambition, not so much from the manager, but from kind of at boardroom level, or the investment that's gone in. I just find it difficult to see some players of real quality looking at Brentford. Don't get me wrong, I know Brentford's scouting has always been quite good, and they've recruited well, but they've kind of got into that position Leicester and Southampton got into, where it worked for a while, but you've let this squad get weaker and weaker, and you're now relying on probably signing 4 or 5 players who can walk straight into this team. Probably 2 or 3 of them at this point who won't have had a pre-season under, with them as well, and hitting the ground running. And I just don't see it happening with them.
Yeah.
I could see Brentford being the team that panic and sign Calvert-Lewin on a free.
Well, if they're going to lose Wissa, and I know that, what was his name? Thiago. I keep forgetting. I know that they've spent a lot of money on him before his injury, but I mean, they are the ones that are going to be in the most need of a striker. So yeah, I could see that being Calvert-Lewin.
Danny Ings on a free.
Is he a free?
I believe so.
Yeah. It's weird. I think it says a lot about the Calvert-Lewin injuries. Like, if you'd have told me 3 years ago that he'd be on a free and like there wasn't this giant queue to snap him up. Yeah. Connie's, but because he's obviously at home and everything. He's with Danny. Losing Frank and the continuity and placement with set piece coach is suicidal. Even if they signed well on paper, they have to hit the ground running. If I was a Brentford fan, I'd be petrified right now. To be fair, based on the limited things I see on Twitter, they are fairly worried.
Yeah, it's
as are Wolves fans, as are Spurs fans.
If I were Queven Kelleher, I'd be really annoyed I didn't take a bit longer over this decision.
Yeah.
Spurs are an interest. I know I've kind of tipped them to do well. I think it's a massive shift for them tactically that you're going from a manager who is very big, a lot less rigidity in his team, to Thomas Frank, who you would think will have them well drilled.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you've seen today, just because it's on. I don't know how much news you've had to look, but James Maddison's out for basically what might be the season.
Oh, that's fun.
Done his cruise ship.
He's had a rough 2 years now. But if you're looking at that, you'd imagine Spurs are going to go to this sort of the 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. I do agree. You're sort of looking at the likes of Bergvall, having to get them up to the next level, because I watched him a lot last season. I just found him as someone who looked busy but didn't really ever actually influence a game.
In theory, I know that it'll bypass the midfield more than Postecoglou did, but in theory, it's not bad for Archie Gray because Frank wanted Archie Gray at Brentford, so he must fancy him. So hopefully, he'll actually get to play in midfield this year rather than playing centre back most of the year.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think who's he likely to play alongside in that case. If you were going to be starting him,
well, it's Pablo Mate Sarr, isn't it, and or he's Basuma.
Yeah. But yeah, like you say, I do think a lot of it with them. I know Maddison would be a big miss, but I do think a lot of it comes down to sort of your central defenders and Vicario being fit.
I just thought I'd check. There's the because Spurs are playing Bayern right now
and loving it.
Oh yeah, that's who I knew. I was forgetting the midfielder. They've just signed João Palhinha.
And the guy, isn't he on loan from Bayern?
Yeah,
that's good timing.
But like that, I was thinking, I'm sure they signed a midfielder who was good, and I couldn't think who it was.
I'm assuming because I know Alex. I think you watch more Bundesliga than I do. João Palhinha only go there last year from Fulham.
Yes.
Or has he been there 2 years?
No,
I think it's only one.
Yeah, it's only one. Summer last year.
He nearly went the year before.
Signed for him, got injured straight away. I think he might have only played about 15, 20 games for him. Because he was supposed to replace Leon Goretzka, and then Leon Goretzka ended up playing more games than needed.
17 league games last season.
Yeah, I thought.
I mean, if he stays for those couple of years at Fulham, I thought he was a fantastic centre mid there.
Like for instance, today the three midfielders. It looks like it's 4-2-3-1 on paper. Quite what it is, obviously, I'm not watching. But Palhinha, Bentancur, and Papanatis are the three who've got on the pitch. And then on the bench, we've got Bergvall, Basuma, Archie Gray for central midfield.
It's not a lot of depth, is it?
It's not loads of depth, but they're good players. The interesting one I want to see at Spurs is that Vuskovic, that defender that they've signed, who's 18 and just looks like a fucking beast.
Well, he's probably going to get a lot of game time because
I think he might well be like in the team by November. He looks, the bits I've seen, he looks unreal.
I was going to say the one thing that Cristiano Romero can't do is stay fit. And the amount of hamstring injuries that Van der Ven has. I mean, to be fair, if you're that tall with that amount of pace, it's probably going to happen at some point.
Yeah. Connie's messaged in just to say that as a wild card to get into trouble, I'd say West Ham. Very poor last year, and that's especially true second half of the season, to be fair. Not going to be much positive this window. Potter's lost his touch. Could see him struggling. I did think about West Ham for my handicap loser. They don't appear to have done great business, and they were really poor second half of last season.
I watched them in that summer league.
That's one thing. I haven't watched any outside of Leeds. I haven't seen a single minute of a friendly.
They've been okay. Nicholas Fulkrug's decided he's a striker again, which if they can get him going, he's not a bad person to have on top.
Yeah, they've signed Callum Wilson for like really low wages unless he's playing, haven't they?
Yeah.
And Kyle Walker-Peters as well on a free.
Oh, have they signed Walker-Peters as well?
Yeah, but another one though. Injuries the last few years. Like I think he's a very good player.
Yeah, they signed that El Hadj Malik Diouf, that Senegal left back that looked really good against England, haven't they?
Yeah, Kyle Walker-Peters is the weird one when you let Koufal go on a free and sign him on a free. I think out of the two of them, I'd rather have Koufal.
I like Walker-Peters, but that's purely because he always plays well against Leeds. So I probably have an inflated sense of how good a player he is, because whenever he plays against Leeds, he plays brilliant.
Their other big signing's been that Jean-Claire Todibo as well, but I can't say I know a right lot about him.
Well, he was on loan at West Ham last season.
Yeah, he played last season as well. But
did he?
Yeah, but he wasn't. He was fine. He wasn't great. Are they still trying to get that Mads Hermansen as well from Leicester, the keeper?
No, they've got that Brazilian.
John.
Yeah, they've got John instead.
Yeah, it's like John Victor or something, but he's known as John.
These Brazilian names have just gone too far now.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this West Ham team at the moment. It's really not up to much. Like it's a very lackluster squad.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how we feel after a couple of games.
Depressed, probably.
Yeah, but
maybe.
The thing is that it's sort of weird with the way our season starts, because obviously Arsenal and Newcastle are really difficult games, but Everton opening day, and Everton I think they've bought some good players and they're being linked with some really good players.
To be fair,
but still Everton at home is still, if you want to stay up, one of the games you're looking to win. And then after the Arsenal and Newcastle games, Fulham, Wolves. So in the first, and then it's Bournemouth. So before October, 4 of the 6 games are ones that you'd say are winnable, and you probably need to win
3.
Yeah, I was trying to decide if you have to win 2 or you need to win 3. I think you probably need to win 2 if you can pick up a couple of draws. If you end up 8 points from 6 to start, that'd be a good start.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm worried about us not having the attacking players in already, even if we are going to get them, because I think we need a good start. And I mean, thinking back to when we went down a couple of years ago, I mean, we did have a good start. We had did we win 3 of his first 4, and we should have won 4?
Something like that.
Because we were 2-0 up at Southampton. and threw it away at the end when Jesse Marsh said, "I've managed in America. I know how to deal with hot conditions," and then he didn't make any subs and we threw it away at the end. Yeah. This is probably the last other club we should bring up because we're nearly at the hour and a half mark, which is long for us. But Connie just saying in here, and it is something I was going to bring up. Bournemouth for another that should be a bit worried. Backline has been absolutely decimated. The reason I'm not worried about Bournemouth is because I really rate Iraola. So I think they'll be okay. But they have lost their goalkeeper and like basically their whole back four. Because Zabani is expected to go to PSG any minute.
Yeah, I think they go into this season with 3 centre halves. And I think one of them's Adam Smith.
Because he's like they've still, is that like Senesi still there?
Senesi's still there. Chris Mepham, I think he's there.
Yeah, I'm seeing. I was just checking to see if there's. I mean, they have signed Truffaut from Rennes. He's the replacement for Kirkez.
Yeah,
he's meant to be some good, but I don't really know much. Georgi Petrovic as goalkeeper, off Chelsea, has been part of the loan file and stuff. He is meant to be a good keeper, but best part, like 25 million quid seems like a lot.
I rate him. I think he's a decent keeper.
Yeah. They have got that Eli Junior Krupi back off loan from Lorient. I think they signed him off Lorient in January and sent him straight back on loan. He's one of them where I've never seen him play, but he's an absolute worldie on Football Manager.
Sorry, I've just got I've got one of my favourite transfer
they've
things.
Got Philip Billing back as well, fresh off winning the title at Napoli.
I think I've come across one of my favourite things that I've seen described here. So just looking through the players out that they've sent out on loan. It's obviously like Max Aarons has gone to Rangers on loan. And you've got a few kids that have gone out on loan to different clubs. So it sort of lists when their loans will finish. They've got 2 lads here, Danny Dixon and Will Upstill, who have gone to New Milton Town. And that is described here on Wikipedia as work experience.
Nice.
And I didn't realise you could do that as a footballer. Like if I'd have known that.
Year 10 would have been very different.
I'd have written off to Garford Town or something, see if we can do a season on work experience.
They're not playing, they're just working behind the bar.
I'm going to guess at their age, they're probably not old enough to work behind the bar. If they're doing work experience. So litter picking is what I'm going with for them.
Fair.
Oh, that was the other thing that I've just realised there's one thing that we haven't done because it was off the box because I haven't copied it over into this document. Anyone got any notable mad prediction?
It's a big one for Alex this year.
Why?
You've done better with this, haven't you, than the rest of us?
I got a bit unlucky last year because I had the winners of League One and League Two to get 100 points or more, and it was League One and the Championship.
Yeah.
So that was a bit unlucky. I haven't really thought about.
Mine was Premier League match abandoned due to floodlights, and there was an England women's game that was nearly cancelled due to that. In terms of right, I'll tell you what. Here's my mad one. Man City are genuinely punished for their crimes. That is a mad prediction.
So what we're saying? Anything above 15 points?
Yeah, I'd say 15 to 20 points. I think anything above that is a genuine punishment. I love how none of us seem to factor this into our predictions with Man City this year.
I did. That's why I have them fourth. Because I think they'll get like 10 points or something.
I don't know if it's that mad, but I'm going to stick with what I put on Twitter and say none of the relegated sides from the Premier League come back up from the Championship this year.
I mean, I think one of the, again, we spoke about this the other day, is that you had that period where Kieran McKenna was very much in demand and chose to stick with Ipswich and he saw out the season. If there is some decent Premier League interest in him again, do you think he would genuinely stick around for it again? Because I think he'd end up having a similar season to what he did before with them if he stuck with them and they got promoted again.
He'd love it at Brentford.
Brighton. I think there's a few clubs who would probably be looking at him again in mid-September.
Do you remember?
So yeah, you got anything?
I'm basically checking for one more thing because I have one that I don't think is quite enough to be called mad. It'd be long odds, but I don't think I could call it mad. So I'm looking to double it with something else to make them between them mad. I'll say basically one half of it is Wrexham's momentum completely stalls out and they get relegated from the Championship this year, which they are like 7th favourites for promotion. But I don't think by itself that's enough. So I'll package it. I'll package it up with Wrexham and Plymouth both relegated.
Ooh.
So I don't know what that would be as a double, but I bet it's plenty because they'll both be like way double figures for a relegation.
Oh, they'll all be high up.
I mean, I do have to say to you, Jack, this year, thank you for not throwing in any Football League predictions, given my record last year and all the years before. So I don't really have the opportunity to get it that wrong.
Yeah.
Bar Spurs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's a few things that we would have said, like Chef Wednesday 24th. Probably. I mean, obviously not Alex based on his mad prediction, but I've got Ipswich winning the league, Southampton second. Leicester getting a points deduction, still making the playoffs and probably winning them.
I've got all 3 in the playoffs. None of them are winning it.
Yeah.
Is it Fat Frank?
No, Fat Frank gets second.
Oh, okay.
Fat Frank gets 23rd. even I don't believe that. There is a Connie has said that Thomas Frank doesn't last the season at Spurs.
I'm not counting that as mad.
I don't think that's quite mad. I would say I think it's more likely he lasts the season than he doesn't, but I don't think it's quite mad enough.
Like if he said that Thomas Frank doesn't make it to the end of October,
yeah,
I'd be more willing to go, all right, yeah, fair.
Yeah. Sacks Thomas Frank, brings back Ange.
Now that
I like how you think.
I will just quickly refresh Twitter just in case anything mad has broken. Ronaldo Vieira has signed to the San Jose Earthquakes.
He's on the West Coast.
There you go. There's something.
I'm still not having that from Connie. Connie's now moved to Christmas.
Oh,
I'm not giving him that as mad.
I'll note it down. I think given everything that they've done and how long a contract is on and stuff, I think sacked by Christmas counts.
You think Daniel Levy's paying out a contract?
Yeah, that's one of the other reasons that I think sacked by Christmas is fair.
End of November.
First game.
He's not Preston now. Come on.
Yeah. So yeah, that unless anyone's anything to add, I think that'll do us.
I think we're good.
No.
Cool. I mean, obviously they will all be wrong. They always are. But there's normally one thing in there that ends up being a good shout. I'm still pissed off at last season, me picking Palace for the League Cup and then they won the FA Cup. That was annoying. But yeah, that will do us for episode 323 of the Mighty Rats podcast. obviously our game is a week on Monday.
Yeah.
So we'll be back Thursday or Friday probably to preview that. Hopefully, we've got a player in, maybe that Bilal Al-Khanous. That'd be nice, seeing as it's exactly what I said I wanted right at the end of last season. But I doubt it. I still think he goes to Palace when Arsenal go after Eze. So that is the end of the episode. I've been Jack. See you.
I've been Casey. Have a good one.
I'll be Alex.
No one cares, Alex. In a bit.